This is NGBN TV. Join our movement at ngbn.tv, coming January 2024.
Well, welcome to NGBN Behind the Scenes. My name's Ian Hill. I have the tremendous honor and great pleasure of being the CEO and part of the leadership team, really, of this pirate ship, this regular people launching a television network for men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, a response to the alarming suicide rate amongst middle-aged men. And today we have it's a huge announcement. This announcement has been 3.5 years in the making. Now, this week has been full of a lot of phenomenal announcements. First, we announced our relationship, our partnership with Pickleball International. And we are the official broadcaster of their top events. Their partnership with Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, where there's going to be cruise line championship pickleball tournaments on various cruises all across the world, both in the spring and summer of 2024. And then, of course, the championship that they're having at Atlantis, the Atlantis down in the Bahamas. I think that I have been personally invited. I get to go to that, right? Nobody else on the NGBN team. I have to go check it out personally. It'll be a great time. And then yesterday, we announced a defining moment in our existence, moving from what some people believe is a podcast network to a television network. And that's our relationship with the National Scouting Combine. The National Scouting Combine is the premier event for those football players that don't get invited to the NFL Combine. They can still be seen by NFL scouts, CFL scouts, XFL, USFL, and so many football leagues around the world. Well, we are now the official broadcaster of the National Scouting Combine. We're going to be doing highlights of the athletes the weeks leading up to the Combine. Then the week of the Combine will be 2 hours live from the Indianapolis Colts training facility right there in Indianapolis. And then we'll be broadcasting the All-Star Game. All of your favorite NGBN personalities coming together to talk about that amazing football game. Professional commentary and analysis. Remember, we've got a number of different gentlemen who on our team that played in the NFL or played in the CFL. Hell, we've got Grey Cup champions. We've got national champions. We've got All-Americans who came up in non-traditional ways so they can really relate to the players. That's the National Scouting Combine. And now today, we have another huge announcement. Remember, we're trying to save men's lives. We're trying to be a response to the alarming suicide rate amongst middle-aged men, 70% more likely to succumb to suicide than any other segment of the population. Entertain them, inspire them, support them, celebrate them, and educate them, build a community around middle-aged men, and then introduce them to our partner organizations that can provide them the on-the-ground support that they need to be thriving in these unprecedented times. And that's what we're going to talk about today. To truly be able to have this conversation, we have to bring in my cohort in crime, part of the leadership team, part of the investment team that's making NGBN happen. Let's bring in Brian Jodis. Brian, how are you, buddy?
Ian, what's up, man? Good to be on the ship once as always, man. Full steam ahead, right? We got fair winds and
pirate ship. Here we go. We're swabbing the deck. We're raising the sails, and we're sailing to a beautiful destiny. You have been a part of this announcement literally 3.5 years ago when we first met via a call. You have been part of this announcement. Mm-hmm. You've helped made it a reality. And I'm sure you have some emotions as it comes to fruition. So what we're talking about today is a partnership with an organization, a literal agreed partnership, in writing partnership with an organization called F3 and the F3 Nation. Well, Brian happens to was a part of that leadership team, is a part of our leadership team, and was a bridge. In a second, Brian's going to tell you what F3 is. I'll just say this. It's tens of thousands of men who are making a significant difference in communities all across North America. 4,800 little chapters and groups all across North America who come together every week to be better men, Brian, for those of that don't know what F3 is, so we can do F3 justice because you've been a part of the leadership team there. Tell the world what F3 is and the difference it makes.
Sure. Ian, this is absolutely amazing. I'm in an Air Force squadron bar at my dad's house. So I love the pirate ship reference. We might go aircraft carrier. I know those are naval aviators, but
There you go.
they're just on my shoulder there. F3 stands for Fitness, Fellowship, and Faith. On May 9th, 2017, a friend of mine said, "Hey, man, I just went to this men's workout group this morning. I think you should come with me tomorrow afternoon. I think it'd be right up your alley." And I showed up that next Wednesday morning. I saw 40 men joined at a park at 5:30 in the morning to host a boot camp style workout. And it changed my life. I mean, it absolutely changed my life. Fitness, Fellowship, and Faith, F3 Nation, founded on January 1st, 2011 by a group of men in Charlotte that, quite frankly, just wanted to get better, right? Wanted to be in good fitness, right? Wanted to do tough workouts early in the morning together, but very quickly learned that when you did that, when you introduced that fitness component, men then wanted to do other things together, like, well, why don't we hang out? Why don't we grab a beer? Why don't we do a Bible study? Why don't we volunteer in our community? Why don't we get a little bit more connected to something bigger than ourselves? So that fitness, fellowship, and faith took shape from there. F3 is on a mission to plant, grow, and serve small workout groups for men for the invigoration of male community leadership. That's the mission statement. And so we walk around talking about it being a fitness group, but my brother, really, it is a men's leadership organization with over 4,500 workouts every single day across North America and as far as Germany, South Korea, Africa, right, taking shape, over 350 regions. And it's just been an absolute game changer in my life. It was a thing I needed that I was not looking for, but that the Creator placed before me. And so just so thrilled to see the way this thing takes shape. Jeff Dudley out of Holly Springs, North Carolina, deserves a massive shout out.
Big shout out to Jeff. Big shout out.
Yeah, it's
big shout out. So let's talk about what it means within the context of NGBN, and let's get real.
Yeah.
Many of you have heard me say that NGBN is about saving men's lives. Why? Because when I wanted to kill myself at the age of 50, there was nowhere to go. There was no one that understood me, man. I turned on the TV, I opened up my search engine, I listened to a podcast. You know what all of it told me? I should kill myself.
Yeah.
Because the world was shit. There was nobody that understood what I was going through. And I swore to God that when I came out of that, there was going to be a place for men that they could go to and they could get content. They would inspire and educate them and support them and celebrate them and understand them, a place just for them. But if we're going to be honest, intellectually honest, it's completely disingenuous to launch a television network and think that that in and of itself is going to stop a man and pull him back from the precipice of a decision that he never gets to return from. We knew we had to have an on-the-ground solution. We knew we had to be a conduit to men that needed to find brotherhood and connect them to on-the-ground brotherhood. We can now, in good conscience, and I can now, good conscience, look in the mirror and say we've created something that's never been in the history of media. A television platform that's a catalyst for community. That's a catalyst for on-the-ground community. And who do we look to partner with? The best in class. There is nobody better than F3 at doing this. And my goal is hundreds of new F3 chapters across North America, and as Brian said, and beyond. Why? Because there's something powerful, and I'll borrow an F3 term, when men lock shields.
That's right.
There's something powerful when we finish a workout together and I say to Brian, hey, bro, how's that going in your marriage, man? You all right?
Yep.
Hey, bro.
That's the key. Yep.
I saw the closed business sign on your business. Are you okay? Or, hey, man, seen that you kind of pulled back and shut down all your social media accounts. Are you all right?
Yeah.
That kind of connection we needed to have in this model called NGBN, and no better organization than F3. Brian, how are you feeling on this day after 3.5 years of trying to bring this to fruition? How do you feel?
Man, pumped, grateful, right? Just grateful for the opportunity to take an organization like F3, so dedicated to be involved in men's lives, changing men's lives, and then to partner with a streaming TV network like NGBN that is going to create content that's never been created before. What we have here is a beautiful match made in heaven. Listen, F3 has 5 rules. It's free, right? There's guys. So if you guys are watching, you're like, first of all, how do I find one? F3nation.com. What are the workouts like? 45-minute boot camp style workout, 100% free. Open to all men, every race, religion, creed, color, everything. You're a man, show up. We got your back. Let's get after it. Can you do a burpee? Sure. Great. Cool. Come work out with us. If you can't yet, we'll get you there. Number 3, every workout is outdoors, rain or shine, hot or cold. Bro, let's do something hard. Let's get up at 5 a.m. Let's do something hard. Maybe the toughest thing you'll have to do all day, ideally. Number 4, they're all peer-led in a rotating fashion. You, brother, new guy, you're going to lead someday. Maybe that leadership has been taken away from you in other aspects of your life. You're going to lead here. We need you to lead here. We need to follow you. And the key to what you just said, number 5, every single F3 workout group meeting ends in a circle of trust, a chance for men to stand together with their peers, guys making hundreds of thousands, guys working their tails off, guys with marriages that are falling apart, guys that are everybody together to be able to share in that moment of vulnerability. This idea that we're lone wolves and we're the Rambo guy that's best left on his own to tackle his problems, utter bullshit. We are a pack, and we strive as a pack, and we accelerate as a pack. That's a key, that circle of trust, that ability to be proximate with another brother, lock shields, and to work through life together. I can't wait for more of you watching that haven't been to one yet to get to one and see what this thing is all about. I can't wait for NGBN to send more guys our way, for us to send more men into NGBN, see the great content that we're creating. We're going to talk to some of our show creators here because F3's been creating content for our men for years. So this is perfect. What a beautiful marriage, man.
Well, that was an amazing explanation. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to say something that's going to be completely, everyone knows that I'm disconnected from reality. Everyone knows that. Jenna knows that. You know that. You know, I'm trying to be the oldest man to play Division I college football. I'm disconnected from reality. So I'll just say this. Hey, fucking depression. We are going to kick your ass. 3 years in the making, you tried to stop this. You didn't stop it. Hey, suicide, we're going to rip 10,000 men. 10,000 men. We're going to rip from your jaws. We're going to kick your ass. When we come back from this commercial break, we're going to learn about one of the amazing shows that F3 has already been doing. We'll be right back.
This is NGBN TV, a network for men and home to top experts, speakers, authors, and more. Streaming TV for men, created by men.
But why?
Why are we a network that inspires,
Educates, entertains, celebrates, and supports
men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, simply to save men's lives.
There was an epidemic in our community,
and it's taking men from us?
I'm talking about mental health and suicide.
But we have an answer, and it's streaming, live shows, sports, concerts, and more.
in a real way for men to lock shields.
We can't wait to launch this TV network for you and with you.
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 Join our movement at ngbn.tv, coming January 2024.
Well, welcome back to NGBN Behind the Scenes. We're making our big announcement. F3 and the F3 Nation have now partnered with NGBN to be an on-the-ground solution for men. So you can go to f3nation.com and learn and see if there's an F3 group in your area. And if not, you can say, hey, let's start one in my area. Our goal is to add 100 new F3 groups all across North America in the first 90 days. Let's get after it. Let's give men a place to be. Well, here's the funny thing. F3 has been creating shows for their community. They got like 100,000 dudes. And they've been creating content. They've been creating shows. And we have two of the hosts from one of those shows, Stuff Worth Trying, Dustin and Corey. All right, Dustin and Corey? Dustin and Corey? Dustin and Corey. Stuff We're Trying. Let's bring them in and let's talk a little bit about their amazing show and this phenomenal partnership. Stuff Worth Trying. What's up?
Man, it's good to see you guys.
How are you,
Howdy,
man?
howdy.
Hey,
What's happening?
Aren't you guys just fired up from what Brian was saying?
Always.
If there's a brick wall, we'd run through it just for that guy.
So right now, I am literally ready to go play. Put
Let's
me
go.
in coach, right?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
So-
go.
So we have talked briefly. Let's be perfectly honest. We'll pull back the veil. We've talked briefly. I've watched your show. Tell everybody about Stuff Worth Trying, because just the title sounds amazing, and what it is they can expect when they tune in now on the NGBN network to Stuff Worth Trying.
Yeah, we're really fortunate. Dustin and I have really only met a couple times in person, but our hearts just go out to each other because we're just trying to do the same thing to make sure that those around us feel seen and heard and valued. And when you talk about, 100 to 200,000 men across the globe are a part of F3, there's a lot of great ideas out there. And somehow, somewhere, somebody came up with the idea to put the two of us on a podcast and invite those guys into that space and share. And what a great way to connect guys from our other sides of the globe through ideas. And I'll tell you, speaking for myself, I used to have a real twisted idea or definition of what leadership was. I thought it was on your business card. I thought it was on your door of your office. Until F3, I didn't realize that it was the opportunity for anybody who had something here or something burning in their heart to get somebody else beside them and to go and to run through those brick walls. And I'm just lucky that two of the guests on your show today are guys I would run through brick walls for, and they've always got great ideas. And I want to tell the next guy. And I don't want anybody to think at the end of the day that they don't have a place where they can share those ideas and have an impact.
That's awesome. And you, sir, what has F3 meant to you, and why is this show important?
Yeah.
Whew. Ian, you and I have a similar story. I'm 48 as of last week. And I've been on the other side and stared at the wrong end of a way to end my life, and just felt I didn't have value. I worked in the nonprofit sector. I found my value by showing other people what their value was, but that for whatever reason didn't permeate into me. Came from a great home. I have two loving parents still on this planet. I have a beautiful wife. I have incredibly beautiful children who motivate me every day, but for a million different reasons, right? Just couldn't connect the dots to my value. And I got drug out to an F3 workout. And it meant everything. I wish I could give you a better answer than that, but it connected all the dots. There was maybe a wire that was disconnected between my brain and my heart, and it not only rewired my system, but it gave me a jolt of energy. And since then, my life has been completely different. I would not know these men on this show today without F3. I am profoundly different. And every day I have the opportunity, God willing, for my feet to hit the floor and have an impact. And that may be picking up a phone and telling another guy I love him. It may be leading a workout. It may be raising $75,000 to put playgrounds at underserved schools across our community here in Greensboro, North Carolina. Who knows? But it's stuff worth trying.
That's amazing. Now, your cohort in crime, I think his nickname is Italian Job. Is that right? Italian Job, man. So first of all, Italian Job, like, what is that all about? And second of all, what is F3 and this show meant to you?
Yeah, absolutely. So Italian Job comes from the fact that I have a classic Mini, an Austin Mini, an old school Mini. And and so I got the name.
Sense.
I got the name based on the car. But
And the
11 years.
And the movie.
And the movie. I have never stolen gold bars from underneath a place. There's still time. If anybody's got a nice boat and a spot in Italy, I'm game. My passport's up to date. Let's roll. But as far as stuff worth trying in F3, what we are able to do is talk to guys around the world about what works for them, what they've done, and how they've been unlocked. A lot of times, everyone knows Steve in accounting and Mike who works on the grounds or whatever it is. But at F3, we forget about what your title is, what the world calls you, your employee ID. What we care about is a man who is willing to sweat next to you and show that he's willing to put in the effort. And if you're willing to put in the effort at that hour, then something tells me you're willing to put in the effort to be a better dad, a better husband, a better friend, community leader. And so we like to say in the COT, that circle of trust where we end a workout, there's somebody around that circle right now that has gone through what you're going through or will go through what you're going through. You're never alone. Leave no man where we found him. We don't leave him behind. We bring him right alongside us. That's the whole mantra that we're going to bang that drum, which is, brother, I'm with you. I'm right beside you. Whatever you're going through, either I've been there or I'm going to go through it. But regardless, my hand is held out to lift you up. We are in this together. We are in this battle together. We're fighting together. And what Corey and I get to do is talk to guys who tell us their stories about where they were, where they're going, and how they've been unlocked to become something that they never knew was deep inside their heart. They found it. And all of a sudden, Steve in accounting, what's up with that guy? He's on fire. That's what we want. We want that guy to find what's deep inside that he's been either suppressing or didn't know it was there. And then the guy just blows up and he is the man that his wife has always wanted him to be, that his kids have desired him to be, and that his coworkers say, I want to be like that man. That's who we're looking for. It's not Corey, it's Tommy Boy. It's not Dustin, it's Italian Job. But whatever it is, it's my brother. And I'm there right beside him through it all.
Well, Tommy Boy and Italian Job, boys and girls, that's what we're looking at. I am struck, guys. I am just struck because here's what I envision. I envision 100 more chapters. I envision 1,000 more men, and I envision wellness, wholeness, and leadership on the march, transforming the United States, transforming Canada, transforming countries around the world. When middle-aged men specifically are whole and well, prosperity flows because they are the leaders of community. And with all due respect to my lady friends who are phenomenal leaders in their own right, that middle-aged man who's been 25 years on that manufacturing floor, when he loses his mojo, when he gives up, when he just goes through the motions of life, that sends a ripple effect across our community, from the Little League to the faith organization to where he volunteered, to hell, his guys up and down the street that he lives by. If you were evil and you wanted to destroy a nation and you want to destroy the world, you know what you do? Take out middle-aged men, and they are being taken out 70% more of the time than the other segment. And I truly believe this partnership is going to move the dial. Where can people find out more about you? What's your social media handles? And we'll try to throw them up on the screen if we can.
Yeah. So the easiest way is on X or Twitter or whatever the cool kids are calling it now. We are at F3SWT. We are also can be found on the Twitters, on the X's as well. But honestly, if we bored you with all of that, we'd steal you from the opportunity to go to F3SWT. That's where we are. We run that. If you have a question, it is us getting back to you. If you have an idea, even better.
Tommy Boy and Italian Job are now part of the NGBN family. I love it. Can't wait to really dive into your show. Can't wait to, at some point, come to where both of you hang out and do a workout as I get ready to take on my quest and break the world record. Gentlemen, thank you for your time and energy, and thank you for the impact that you're making in men, both locally in the close proximity of the guys you work out with every day, but also the men that you're impacting around the world. And welcome to the NGBN family.
Honored, brother. Thank you so
excited.
much.
All right,
Absolutely.
fellas. When we come back after this commercial message, we're going to talk about 2 other amazing shows that are coming to us from F3. We'll be right back.
Attention, gentlemen of distinction. Introducing NGBN.TV, the television network designed exclusively for men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. Your go-to destination for entertainment that speaks to you, inspires you, and celebrates the incredible journey of manhood. And here's the exciting news. NGBN.TV is coming to Roku, Apple TV, Amazon, and your favorite mobile devices. Whether you're a sports enthusiast, seeking self-improvement, or just looking for a good laugh, NGBN.TV has got you covered. Entertainment, inspiration, brotherhood. Coming soon to Roku, Apple TV, Amazon, and mobile devices. NGBN.TV, where men thrive.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to NGBN Behind the Scenes, where I, the leader of this crazy pirate ship, get to give you, pull back the veil and get a look inside of what's really happening with NGBN. Hey, look, we're building a television network. It's not a podcast network. We got live sports. We got partnerships. We're going to be broadcasting from around the world. Sure, we have podcast-like shows, but we also have documentaries coming. We have episodic shows coming. We are truly a television network for men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. But here's another thing. Oprah is not backing us. Bill Gates didn't drop in $1 million. Elon did not come by and give us a bag. No, this is regular people saying enough is a fucking enough. Too many men are killing themselves, and we're going to do something about it, along with our phenomenal partners like people like F3. So we need your help, and we need it now. First, you want to buy a sweatshirt, you want to buy a hoodie, you can go to ngbn.tv, click store. Click store. And you can buy items in that store, both from NGBN and our partner shows. And all of those proceeds go to support the effort to save men's lives. Or you can join us as a partner sponsor. Do you know you can get 2,000 30-second commercials? 2,000 30-second commercials over a 3-month period for $2,000 a month. That's unheard of. Well, that's because no one's watching. I don't know. The aggregate of all of our shows before we launch on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire is 3 million views. And we haven't even launched on the platforms that you see on the screen. So people are watching. Now's the time. If you're a business owner, you're a business decision maker, you lead an organization, now's the time for you to step and stand with us as we do this important work and make a difference in people's lives. I want to bring back Brian Jodis because we're going to talk about 2 other shows on the network. There's 2 other shows that we're bringing to NGBN that have been created during this growth of F3. First, let's talk about Dr. Tunis and his show, Hunt for Wellness. Tell us about what Dr. Tunis and how Hunt for Wellness are all about, Brian.
Yeah, so Tunis Hunt is just an incredible guy. His F3 name is Bones, which makes a lot of sense. He's a chiropractor, right? So
Hold on,
he's the guy
hold on. I just got to say, you guys refer to a lot of movies. That's just all I have to say.
So there's references all over the place, right? Yeah. So Bones is an amazing dude, right? He's in the chiropractic space. And on our show, the Circle of Trust podcast, which we'll talk about in a moment, he would call in every week and sort of just start dropping these health tips for us. And it kind of became a thing. And we were like, dude, we need the weekly segment from Bones, the Hunt for Wellness, right? Tunis Hunt. It's a great name, Hunt for Wellness. So he started off as just doing these little 2-3 minute vignettes. Hey guys, here's the benefits to D3. Here's the benefits to all these different things, right? Just addressing health and wellness issues for men, middle-aged men. And that little 3-minute segment then blossomed into his own show because he cared
That's
so
awesome.
much and he gave so much. So on the Hunt for Wellness show, you're going to hear from a licensed practicing chiropractic practitioner, and you're going to hear about all the different things in health and wellness that relate to men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. And he's going to cover myriad of topics, everything from sleep to consumption to rest, recovery, right? Health, wellness for men. Dr. Tunis Hunt, aka F3 Bones, will be the man to deliver that on the Hunt for Wellness. Can't wait to see that thing blossom on NGBN.
You know, I'm so excited because along with Dr. Tunis, and then you add in Doc Isabel, and you add in Doc Connor, right? Dr. Hogan.
Yep.
We have literally
no Doc Holliday. We couldn't get Doc Holliday. It's the one Doc
we got Doc Hogan. We went to Ireland and got Doc Hogan. So we got Dr. Connor Hogan, we got Dr. Tunis, we got Doc Isabel, and of course, Chef Michael, her cohort in crime. We have real, meaningful content. And what you all don't know out there is we're about to drop another one on you. One of the top physical therapists in the world, James Barrett, and his show, Mind Body Balance, where he comes from his private island. He'll be broadcasting from his private island. Anyways, that's a whole nother story. But here's the thing. Meaningful information, tangible tools from real experts that can help you take that middle-aged body and that middle-aged brain and that middle-aged physicality, emotion, and psychology and be your best. Now, Brian, there's one more show that we want to talk about. And I think I kind of know who the co-host is of that show. It's you, the hardest working man in show business. AC is the smoothest man in show business. You are the hardest working man in show business. On top of your Pick Up the Six, which is a phenomenal podcast, phenomenal show, there's another show that you're involved in called Circle of Trust. Tell everybody
Yeah.
about Circle of Trust.
You know, the amazing thing about F3 is you got tens of thousands of men all over the globe, right? United in this thing that they go do every morning with their local brothers, but there's so much happening, right? And so what we did is we designed a news program called the Circle of Trust show, which I aptly named, right, for that circle of trust, right? That moment at the end of the F3 workout where men can talk about things happening in their lives. And we thought, well, we got a pretty good name there. We'll just call the show that because it makes a lot of sense. And that show will be sort of a weekly circle of trust for F3 Nation. So myself and my co-host, Jamie, we call him F3 Rapido. You've got F3 Hello Kitty here, which is a long story for another day. But we get together every single week to talk about the things we're seeing, hearing, reading around F3 Nation. And what we've done is we've made it a fun, interactive show. We've got a PAX hotline where guys can call in, leave us messages about what's happening in their region. We play those. We've got segments like the Quote Worth Rapido, the Hunt for Wellness. And really, it's just a chance to connect the men of F3 to something bigger than themselves through this united show. So it's really kind of a news style program. It's like a radio, it started as sort of like a radio news show. Now we're going to adapt it for the TV screen. We're thrilled about the opportunity to do that and just to be able to show men around the world what the F3 guys are doing. We get to hear from them, which is an absolute blast. And we just have a great time doing it.
That's phenomenal. I'm excited about Circle of Trust because I think what it's going to do is people are going to get some insight into what's happening and they're going to say, I want that.
Yeah, you're going to get a
Like, why
flavor
can't we
of
have
F3.
that in our town?
Yeah.
Why can't we have that in Salmon Arm, BC?
That's right.
Why can't we have
That's
that in Twillingate, Newfoundland? Why can't we have that in Winnemucca, Nevada? Why can't we have that in Las Cruces, New Mexico?
That's right.
So I'm excited about you pulling back the veil and telling the story of the cool things that are happening across the F3 universe. Brian, we only have a few minutes left, maybe 2 minutes left. Let's take a moment as leaders who are invested in a cause and have planted our flag in the sand and said enough is enough. What do you think this does? As I sit back and think about it, Brian, I think this is a game-changing moment. This is a watershed moment where we can create this funnel and we build trusting relationships in community in this, used as a catalyst, this television network. And now we can funnel those men to somebody in their area. What do you think the impact of that's going to be as you look out over the landscape?
The enemy has his target in his sights. And his move is to isolate men, remove them from reality, remove them from community, get a foothold here, and get them to do the one thing we can't undo. Well, we're here to combat that. By locking shields, we become like Leonidas's 300 that faces down thousands. But we can't do it alone. I can't pick up the shield and the sword by myself and charge into that battle. Try as I might. Guys, I promise you. You think I'll pick up the shield, I'll pick up the sword, I'll dust myself off by myself, and I'll do it. No, that's not getting us where we have to go. We have to unite. And when we do that together, we've seen it 10x and 10x, more and more. Small group in Charlotte, almost 13 years ago, comes together to work out and get a little bit better. Now, tens of thousands of men across the globe now uniting with the premier streaming TV network for men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. The enemy has us in his sights, but now he's starting to walk backwards. He was coming towards us. Now he walks backwards. So let's unite together, right? Let's lock shields together. Let's promote this amazing organization and this incredible home for men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. And let's go out there. And I'll tell you what, here's what we're going to do. We'll save one guy. Then we'll save another one. Then we'll save another one. And like you said, we're going to rip 10,000 away out of the grasp. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go get this.
I'm going to tell you something, Brian. That was so well said. I gave the world's longest speech, 51 and a half hours, broke the world record, but I'm at a loss. I just want to get to work.
Yep.
Now we got to do the work, Brian, right? Now we got to do the work. If you're out there listening right now and you're intrigued, if you're moved, if Brian's incredibly inspiring words of truth, because he was absolutely right, the formula that he laid out to destroy men, he laid it out, and he also laid out the corresponding solution. If that touched your heart or resonated in your head, then hit us up, DM me. Get involved right now. Like, don't wait. Don't push it out till after the holidays. We have advertising opportunities. We have sponsor opportunities. You can come alongside an individual show, or you can come alongside the overall initiative. Or you can just send me a note and say, I'm hurting and I'm broken and I need someone to talk to. If today you're in crisis and you're struggling, then there is a place that you can get immediate help. It's 988. 988, 988, 988. It's a suicide lifeline, crisis lifeline, 988. Jenna just threw it up on the screen. What they're going to do is talk to you. They're going to share with you. They're going to find you resources in your area. They're not going to judge you. They're not going to ridicule you. They're going to understand you. They're trained professionals, and they're there to help you. If you're not in crisis, but just in a funk, go to f3nation.com. Go to f3nation.com, f3nation.com. There might be somebody right in your area. You go to work out tomorrow. You might be able to go to work out tomorrow.
That's right. That's right. Listen, man, with over almost 5,000 daily workouts across the globe, there's a pretty good chance that there is going to be one near you. If not, great. Let's work together. Let's get to
Let's start one
and find it.
Let's start one. Yep. So, Brian, I'm going to give you your flowers now. We absolutely would not be here today without you. You were the bridge. You were the conduit of communication. You were the one that, in some instances, translated the language, right? Because there's two different organizations speaking different languages, and you were the one that made it happen. Jeff Dudley was the initial catalyst, and we got to give him his flowers. Got to give him his flowers. And I hope he's out there listening, and I hope he's got a tear in his eye as he sees this come to fruition. But we got to give you your flowers, and thank you for the hard work and energy and stick-to-itiveness to bring this to reality. And then finally, big shout out to Frank Schwartz, right? Got to shout out to Frank. Got to give him a shout out.
Dark Helmet.
Yeah, there you go. Dark Helmet. I don't know what his name is. There's an Italian Job. Hello Kitty.
I have so many ideas for you too. I have so many ideas for you.
But here's the thing, man. I'm a big shout out to Frank. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your commitment. And thank you for being willing to do something no one's ever done in the history of broadcasting. Formed a partnership with a network. Unprecedented times call for unprecedented solutions. Incremental change never changes anything. It's got to be radical change. Words that Brian just spoke are words of truth. I thank him for his hard work and energy, and I thank all of you for all of your support. We got the Christmas holiday. We'll be back next week with another edition of Behind the Scenes. But Brian and I are saying this: Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and remember, f3nation.com if you want to connect to some men in your area. And watch as NGBN continues to transform lives. Have a great day. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. Take care, everybody.